On today's video, we're going to take a look at a set of clubs for you purists out there, the traditionalists, the folks who want to take golf back to its roots, who aren't necessarily concerned with technology and fads and gimmicks, but who just want a pure golf experience. You can get that from this set of irons right here, like no other. These are the pure golf clubs. This is a blade design made in small batches to order, and they are certainly the clubs you'll want if you're getting back to basics. Let's take a closer look at these. So, absolutely no branding here on the back of this club. Look how thin that sole is. For folks who remember things like Ben Hogan blades or the golf clubs of old, you're gonna absolutely fall in love with these. The top line, thin as can be, pretty much a butter knife. There's not a lot of technology built into this, but that is not what these clubs are about. They're all about minimalist looks and stunning feel. We're going to be testing all of that here today. Now, you'll also notice that there is not a number listed on this club, just a loft. I think that's pretty cool. And again, goes to the philosophy that clubs nowadays, a 7-iron in one set could be like 28 degrees, and in another set it could be like 36 degrees. So this is basically a 7-iron right here in my hand for pure, but they call it a 36. I really like that, but you'll have to start to think about golf in a little bit different way. And again, back to basics if you're going to play a club like this, because there's not a number written on the bottom. Now, I've got these paired with a Dynamic Gold 120 gram stiff shaft. There are plenty of shafts you can request from Pure Golf. They're all about making these clubs to order. I've also got some nice medium grips on here, and these are comfortable. This is the Cross Comfort from Superstroke. First time I've played these grips, but they've got a nice little sponginess to them and a lot of grip. They feel really, really good in hand. There isn't a whole lot to these clubs. Again, that's not what this is about. So let's take them out on course. And what we're gonna do here is play 6 holes of golf from a forward set of tees. I'll play the senior tees out here. We're gonna go irons only with an over-under of +1. That's gonna be our bellwether if I can play some good golf with the Pure Golf clubs. Let's get to work. All right, first hole here, we've got a par 4 pretty straight away, maybe just a very slight dogleg right. There's a bunker out there to our right we don't wanna be in. I'm gonna go ahead with the 24-degree iron. This is basically going to be the 3-iron of this set. It is practically a butter knife, so I'm kind of scared if I'm being honest. I've got my Garmin G80 here. We're gonna get a little shot data as well as measure these shots and see how far they fly. Oh my gosh. First of all, felt incredible. That seemed to go a really long way. Man, that was one of the best feeling shots I've ever taken for the first time hitting a golf club, I've got to say. The peak height was surprising because again, when you look down at a club like that, with that kind of a profile, you just don't think you can get it up in the air very easily, but that one flew really nice and I think very long. We're gonna find out. Honestly, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. I'm not a long hitter in any way, shape, or form. Now, I certainly hit a little bit of a downslope here. There's no doubt about it. I didn't think I could get to that downslope, to be quite honest with you. And this number is shocking. I've got witnesses, thankfully, because the mowers are here, or else you probably wouldn't believe it. A 236 is how far I hit that club. That's up there with the longest of long game improvement irons I've tried. I don't even know what to say. We're gonna continue to test. I've got a short shot in here, 102. We'll see if we've got something that's kind of gap wedgy here. I have to go off of what I know in terms of loft structure, because again, there's no numbers written on these clubs. And 48 degree, I think, is gonna be our best bet. That's the lowest club I've got here. We're staring right down the barrel, and honestly, I cannot believe where I'm at. I cannot believe it. Let's see if we can hit a good shot here. See if I got the weight of that shot right, because it should be a lot of loft there. We're on the green. I did blow it past the pin quite a bit. There is some pop coming off of these. The feel absolutely exceptional. This would rival a Miura, honestly. People claim that that's the best feeling club. I actually don't think it's the best feeling club now. I think Srixon has the best feeling club. This would rival a Srixon as well. And in terms of distance control, actually a little bit better than I thought. So we're just a little bit past the pin. We've got a putted birdie. I'm nearly speechless in the type of performance I'm getting so far. Let's see the pitch mark here. Let's see how that one stopped and stuck. All right, here's our pitch mark right here. Now, I got a lot of spin on that one. It kind of ripped over here, basically in line with where it hit. So kind of took a little loop-de-loop there. You can see that these greens are going to be difficult to putt on. They were punched just a couple weeks ago and they still haven't quite recovered. We're getting drought conditions here in Tampa lately. I'm going to do my best to putt here, but that's going to be the toughest part of today. I've got 30 feet here for the birdie putt. Taking a bumpy ride. Tell you what, I'll take that. Distance-wise, got that nailed. But nothing's gonna be a gimme today. What'd I say? Talked myself into a bogey there. All right, we're heading to hole number 2. It's gonna be, again, another par 4, pretty straightaway, pretty long hole. All right, we're gonna go 24 here. Now, I hit 21 back on the last hole, so I'm not gonna expect we're gonna get the same amount of distance, but let's see what we do here with this one. Wow, that is just piped. It's straight down the middle. It's long. Neither of those two, I didn't necessarily mention it on the first strike, but neither of those two I don't think were dead middle of the club. There's actually some forgiveness, it seems like, built into these, which you wouldn't expect, again, looking down at that blade. We're gonna measure this one and see how far it went. I'm so in shock of the number we saw over there that I'm almost questioning my Garmin G80. Maybe it was a misread, but we're about to find out. All right, so what's basically, I guess, a 5-iron. We've now hit 218 here with this club. So, wow, just continue to be impressed here by the distances. Tough second shot, because I got a downhill lie. That pin is tucked on the left. There's a bunker guarding it on the left side as well. And I've got 162. 162, again, and thinking more about like loft of clubs, I want to be somewhere around 32 degrees, I think is going to be perfect, which that's where my 7-iron normally sits, but this is basically going to be more like an 8-iron when it comes to this type of set. I caught that one heavy, so I don't think it's going to make the green. And I think we've run into that bunker. But still, feel of this club exceptional. I honestly think they're a lot more forgiving than they look. Let's see if we can get up and down. All right, so distance-wise, we came up 5 yards short of this pin, maybe 7 yards short. But for the type of strike, I think we got fairly good distance. So we had very tough conversion here for par, especially with these greens, but I'm gonna do my best. Bite. All right, looks like, we'll call it 18 feet here for our par. Whew. All right, tap in bogey. We are going to now a par 5, so hopefully a chance to get one back. I do want to test more of the clubs in this set here, so I'm gonna do my best to hit 3 nice shots over there. All right, we're going back to the 3-iron. This is our 21 degree par 5. Slight dog leg left. Gotta hit a good one because we've got to carry a lot of water here. There's about 175 yards of water there on the left to cover. I am going to be aiming out here towards the right a little bit, but we got to get a good strike in. And we're slightly into the wind, it seems like. And that's a good strike. I can't believe I'm in just absolute awe of the peak height I get and just how easy it seems to hit these clubs. That was definitely middle of the club face for the first time. So we'll break out the G80 one last time here and see what the distance is. 226 is the number. 226. It's crazy. Crazy what we're getting out of these clubs that have no right to go as far as they're going. Now, I've got a little bit of a challenge here because I'm 260 out from the middle of this green. And in fact, to the pin, let's see what we've got. 271's the number. I want to lay into a spot where I can hit a full shot. And I like to really get as many clubs as I can into a test. So we're going to hit the 36 here and just hopefully lay us into a good position. Oh yeah. Gosh, the peak height's amazing. I really feel like I've got maximum control with these clubs too. So very workable clubs though, because I was trying to draw that shot and I might have overdrew it just a little bit. We've got 117 in though, so we got that accomplished. We're gonna have a full shot in. Again, I think the 48 should be the perfect club here from this distance. By the way, we're in the rough, so we're gonna see how this one cuts through as well. That's what a blade does best, honestly, is gonna get you through some tough turf conditions. I hit that a little too far. They just continue to surprise me in the type of distance I'm getting from them. So we are putting, I think, for birdie, but we may actually be on the back fringe there. All right, so yeah, I don't think I can putt this one, although it's probably not much worse than the greens themselves. I am gonna putt this one. Tough putt though, because I got a lot of crap to deal with. We've actually switched to the pine side at Carrollwood. These greens are in a lot better condition all of a sudden, but it's a tough putt. Come on, come down, come down. Okay, that's our par. We've got 3 more holes to play. Man, I want to play more holes though because I'm really enjoying these pure irons. The next one's, again, kind of our best chance at birdie probably that we're gonna have. It's a shorter par 4. We should have a wedge in our hand for our second shot as long as we get off the tee well. Well, it could be bunker. All right, we got 99 yards in here. Looks good. Ooh, it's about as good of a chance as I'm gonna have at birdie. I don't. Oh, it stayed dead straight. That thing had to break and it just didn't. All right, give myself a couple more of those chances and we're gonna make the birdies though. We've got 2 tough holes to finish, really the toughest 2 holes on this particular side. And I feel very confident though with these clubs that we can make it happen. All right, our 5th hole, which is 3rd hole here on the pine side. Very, very narrow. Gets narrower the further you go. Water right, cypress trees hugging the left. Gotta be accurate. It's leaking a little left on me. Settle. Woo! Again, there's so much power in these things that very likely we're in the cypress. Maybe gonna have to punch out over there. But clubs like these are for what I think are the best shots in golf. I mean, I get the most joy out of pulling out some kind of ridiculous shot, escaping from the depths of despair. I think that to me is just like, I get a kick out of that. So we're gonna put it to the test right now. Workability is gonna be at a premium and control here to get us back in position, hopefully stay in this hunt for our over under. Oh my God, this is like complete jail. I have no good options here at all. This is like the narrowest of lanes, if you can see this. I would almost always rule that out, except if I go this direction, I've got almost no space either. I'm in a little bit more, but tell you what, the whole point of this show is to put irons to the test, the ultimate test, and that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna pull out something like, let's see, let's go 28 degree, which I assume would be pretty much be the 6-iron in this set. I have to be pinpoint accurate to get out of this. I could completely blow up the round right now, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable escape. That's the best part of golf though for me. Oh man, that's unlucky. It took a really hard hop and actually we're in the hazard here, so we're gonna unfortunately have to drop one, which is gonna make getting a decent score on this hole very, very difficult. But still, I'm really happy that I was able to escape out of those trees, I gotta say. All right, 105 is the number here. I got the 48 degree wedge back in hand. Let's see if I can get that distance right. Pretty good. Ultimate control with these irons. Again, I wanted to flight that one a little lower. I was able to do that. The one thing I do want to test here on the next hole is going to be a fade shot. I assume I'm going to be able to work these clubs very easily, but we'll hit a couple fades on the next hole just to test that. And then once we play that last hole, I'm going to go ahead and rank these clubs. And I think it's going to be a shocking number, to be quite honest with you. At least shocking to me. All right. About 18 feet again here, left to right for me. Is that the one? Oh, baby. Somehow, I escaped with a bogey there. Talk about an adventurous 5 right there. That's one of the best 5s I'll be happy to put on a scorecard. So we're 3 over here heading to our last hole. The over-under, unfortunately, is out of reach, mostly due to my poor putting and just not necessarily hitting balls in the right places. The clubs, though, I think they're performing excellently. After I hit this shot, which I'm going to try to fade and really test workability here, after I hit this one, we're gonna go ahead and rank these clubs and then we'll play the rest of this hole out. I'll give you the score. I think it's gonna be a pretty good one. All right, so in order for me to hit a fade, playing it up off my front foot, taking more of an outside in swing, we're gonna open up this blade just a touch as well. And even for a toe hit, that carved very nicely. I hit it a little fat, a little off the toe, but we are dead middle of this fairway. All right, I've got 192 in. So let's talk about distance. And by the way, I always rank clubs based on the category I'm ranking clubs on. I know there's some confusion there, but for a blade, as well as for clubs in general, absolutely 5 out of 5, without a doubt. These things are long. I'll tell you about forgiveness maybe after I hit this shot, because I'm gonna need some. 192, I've got the 21 degree in hand, which may be too much, but we got wind in our face. I'd rather be long than short. All right, that shot, was indicative of the fact that I need forgiveness. I don't think these are going to be the most forgiving clubs, but I'll tell you what, distance-wise, where I hit a couple not dead center, they still flew a long way. I think you're going to get a fair amount of forgiveness out of these. Again, especially for a blade. And I'm ranking this as a blade, 4 out of 5 for forgiveness. Still, you got to be a good ball striker to play this club. I mean, look at that sole. You got to be a good ball striker. You're not going to get a ton of forgiveness, but as blades go, something in this category, I think, very good. Now, when it comes to workability, you can do what you want with these clubs. I flighted some shots down today. You saw me hit a fade. I may actually hit another fade here as well. Escape from tough situations like you saw me do on the last hole. You can do that with a blade like no other. So 5 out of 5 in terms of workability. Now, when it comes to aesthetics, looks, feel, sound, some of the best feeling clubs I've ever hit in my life. Like I said, up there with anything. The only thing is I'd say this is such nitpicker, the designer in me. The font I don't love, but it does harken back to the days of old. So it looks like this is a retro type of club. It's just not my particular aesthetic. And I would like actually some sort of branding on the back. I think the whole reason that Pure did this, because again, to be as more minimalistic as possible, but it kind of makes them look unfinished in a way. All right, so I'd love to just see the word Pure stamped on the back. I think that would again elevate the design, but man, I'm nitpicking. Again, some of the best feeling clubs I've ever tried. Sound great, just a little ding there for aesthetics. Let's go ahead and call that 4.5 out of 5. And our last category is going to be value. Let's see if I can get up and down here before I give you that number. $5.99 for a set of irons, really of this quality, incredible value. So 5 out of 5 without a doubt there. And you can also go heads only, by the way, for $4.99. Amazing, amazing clubs. I think you're getting a lot, as long as you're okay with hitting a very minimalistic club. That's what these certainly are. But if you like that, you are gonna love Pure. Check them out. I am gonna leave a link down below. I don't get paid, there's no affiliate deal, anything like that, but this is just an interesting club I think you should learn more about for yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.